Welcome back. We are having our first conversation this morning, and as we mentioned, we'll be talking about the process of foster care. We have here with us Georgia Oshun, and she is the Human Development Coordinator. And also with us is Rihanna Ramdas, and she is a Community Development Officer. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning.
Foster care. I think that this is something that we talk about quite a few, but we don't always know that there are a lot of families that are actually fostering kids.
Yes, we do have a number of foster family, and we continuously to look for foster family. And so we are now launching the new campaign, Be the Heart of Gold, and Be the Heart of Gold and Foster a Child Today.
Yeah.
So we are seeking forever homes, forever families, and I mean, it's an ongoing process, and we can, like I said, we continue, because even though we have a number of foster homes, we are still always open to foster families.
What is fostering? What does that entail, fostering a child?
So there are several types of foster care. Fostering, in the definition of the word, means to take a child into your home. It's really the heart's work, right? Because unlike other countries, in Belize you don't get paid to foster, right? And so taking a child into your home, a child that has most likely experienced trauma, taking them into your home, making them feel comfortable, giving them the love, the support, the emotional stability that they need, you know? And so, like I mentioned, there are several types of foster care. You can do emergency foster care, which spans from 1 day to a week. There's respite foster care, which I like to market that one because it's tailored towards foster parents. You get to choose the time. Let's say summer is coming up, you want a child in your home. Take them on maybe a little vacation or so forth. And then there's short-term foster care, which goes up to 3 months, and then long-term foster care, which is up to a year.
Yeah.
So
or longer.
How it's different than adopting a
Yes,
child,
it is,
correctly?
because foster care is only a temporary placement. Adoption is permanent.
Okay, so because you mentioned earlier forever home, and so how does that tie into fostering, which is short term?
Okay, so because foster care is normally for children who we only have a care order for. And so like Ms. Ramdas mentioned, that could go from maybe days to 3 years. And so we would then go to the court to have that order either extend, or when we see there is the last resort, and with that family and the family is not moving towards having the child reunified back with them, we go to the court and we get a custody order. Then and only then that child will become available. So a foster parent might become an adoptive family, being that the child has born, the child has been with them, and when the child become available, then that family would then be offered the first opportunity to have that child in terms of the forever home. And so then we move towards adoption.
So it could be a stage, essentially.
It could be,
that
exactly,
forever home.
yeah.
You mentioned that there's quite a number of foster families in place with the ministry. Do you have a database of what that number looks like?
We do, but as of present, it's not updated.
Okay.
Because we have some foster parents, like I said, have moved towards adoption, and some has maybe not wanting to do it anymore, and some have phased out, so become older and doesn't have the capacity to.
Your shirt and of course the slogan for this campaign is Heart of Gold, and I remember the campaign last year as well. A lot of times though, when people think about adopting or fostering children, they think that they need to have a substantial amount of money because they wouldn't want to take in a child if they're not wealthy or if they're not higher on the financial scale. Is this something that you guys also look for, Or is it simply a family that wants to look after someone else and invite another child in their home?
And I guess it's for the latter that you said. It's basically to have that family. Many times we have children who doesn't have the opportunity to grow up with a family. And so like the slogan said, be the heart of gold. So it's rather not financially. We would then kind of look at your financial status, but not to say that that will determine there, because if we have a child and I mean, you're open and like Ms. Ram, that's also mentioned, there's not a financial attachment to it, but if there's maybe a little support that the department could offer to foster that environment, then we do that.
Well, let's look at the requirements then
Right.
to be a foster parent. What do you need to meet?
So, as per legislation, the first requirement is that you have to be 21 years or 12 years older than the child.
That's interesting.
25.
Right.
So
and then
25 years
25
old.
for adoption.
Okay.
Right. When it comes to the application process, there are several screening documents that we require, which includes medical forms. You will need reference letters, the biodata of your passport, police records. as-
3 letter of reference.
Right,
Character
references.
references.
And that's just to really delve into the person's life to make sure that the children that we're placing there will be safe, right?
Yeah.
It's a thorough, we call it a home study report. And it's a thorough and comprehensive investigation that we go in and we make sure that these families are suitable to either foster or adopt the children that we're placing in their care.
How long does that process usually last, that review and investigative process?
So after an application, we try to respond within 48 hours just to make sure that the engagement is there, right? We don't want to lose these foster parents because remember, we're requesting a service from
yeah,
you.
indeed.
And so 48 hours is our goal to get back to them, and then likely we'll schedule the home study investigation. We'll go into your home, and then you are approved within a 6-week period.
Yes.
Is there a age range of children that goes into foster care under you guys?
Yes, there is. So children in our institution are only made for children that are above 5 years old. So all children that are below 5 are looking to go into foster care. But that's not to say that we don't have older children that want to go into foster care as well. And actually, our campaign that we're launching is geared towards children that are older, because we find that, you know, people are coming in and they say, oh, I want a baby. And I always joke with them and say, you know, we don't have a baby factory. But what we do have are teenagers, are young adults that are wanting their forever homes and wanting to bond with a family so that inevitably when they age out of the system, they are able to establish some type of bond and to have some type of support that is outside of the department.
But primarily, it's children under 5 years old that goes up for foster care.
It's honestly children that are all ages, so from 0 up to 18 years
yeah.
old.
Let's talk about the reason why most families try to get babies to foster. I think it might be an obvious answer, but perhaps this could be something that we could touch on a bit more.
Right. So I'm on the ground. And so families will often come in and say that they want a baby because they want to be able to mold them how they want to. And psychology shows that children are at their formative ages from 0 to 3 years old. So while that can be true, again, our foster care campaign today is geared towards children that are older. Because that's not to say that they can't learn from a foster family, they can't retain information, they can't and don't deserve the type of love that a younger child deserves, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
What is it that is required to have a heart of gold, or what are the characteristics of a heart of gold when it comes to fostering?
I think it has to be where that family is patient with the child, because remember the child experienced some level of trauma. Be open be honest with that child, because many times people go and have this expectation to the child or from the child. And so if from the beginning you're honest and have the child know, okay, I know certain things have happened and you have experienced it, but I'm here to support you and to take you through that process. And so just open your homes and have that child and basically the love for that child to overcome whatever obstacle the child had faced.
What have you guys seen foster care do for these children in terms of building them up, their values, their personalities, their lives?
The changes that we've seen are truly miraculous. These children that go into foster homes, it's a huge change for them in the first, because it's a transition period as usual. They're coming from homes. We wouldn't take a child into care if they haven't experienced some level of trauma. So whatever that trauma might be, whatever their experiences might have been, they're coming into the home and wanting stability, wanting love, wanting an emotional attachment. And so likely that's what we see. We see that they're building bonds with these families. It's really life-changing and really brings you a sense of pride and of comfort to see these children change as they go through, as they develop in these foster homes.
Are there a list of rules and regulations when you actually become a foster parent that you have to abide by to ensure that your foster child or your foster baby is kept safe as possible and simply done in the right way?
Yes, there is. We have what we call a substitute care agreement.
Okay.
And so that agreement is signed with the department and the foster family. So basically, we ask that there is proper supervision, the basic needs are provided for the children. And we, as the department, our responsibility is to say the family demographics, if the child has some educational needs, and all the basic information on that child, we would then inform the family. So that's our role as the department. And then as the substitute care provider, then you have your responsibility where you're supposed to, like I said, ensure that the child's basic needs are met. And so confidentiality is one of our biggest things. And we ask that family to hold that child to that level where the information is kept confidential.
Potential foster parents may say, I have this heart of gold and I have a lot of love that I am ready to give to some children, but I'm not sure if I'm prepared to take on this huge task. What's the first step that they can take? Should they reach out and have a discussion about it at first?
Absolutely. I would say to reach out to us, whether that's a phone call or a visit, and have a conversation with one of the officers. I think we're great at guiding you throughout the process and to really help you to understand if this is something you want to take on, because it is a lot of responsibility. And again, it's necessary for our children, so we want you to be as committed as possible to the process. But we are always there, our doors are always open to have that conversation with you. Yeah.
Remind us again of the process that you would go through if you are interested in fostering.
So presently we have a online. It used to be a Be That Heart Up. No, sorry, it's Give Your Heart to a Child. Now it's Heart of Gold.
Campaign.
And so that's on our website,
Okay.
the ministry website. And so once you fill in that information come to us. And like Ms. Ramdas mentioned, we will get in contact with you within the first 48 or 24 hours. We'll call you and first make that first engagement. And then we walk you through that process. So we inform you of the screening documents. And then when will be the next step, an officer will call you, set up an appointment. Normally, we try to do our appointment for the home study convenient to the applicant. So if maybe it's on weekend, we don't really work on weekend or after hours, but we will accommodate them just to have that foster parent approved.
Well, ladies, as we wind down, I'll ask if you have any final words that you'd like to share with our viewers as it relates to having a heart of gold and really giving to the kids that need it most.
So I would say that if you have been thinking about it, to reach out to us. There are children in Belize right here in our country that are in need of good foster homes, of good adoptive homes. And so I would say take that leap and be that heart of gold.
So for me, I say contact 227-7451 or 227-2051 and ask for Ms. Ramdas or Ms. Ocean and be that heart of gold.
Alrighty. Ladies, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate the information, and we're hoping that this year we'll see even more foster parents taking that leap and offering their homes to these kids that need it most.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the conversation switches into deals, Mother's Day deals and promotions with Modisco.